first off, if you're wondering, if you guys are new here, if you guys have never watched my show before, I talk about South Asian news. I'm the Indian Hasanabi. I'm the Tamil Hasanabi. I'm talking about South Asian news. When can I watch the next stream? Next week. Next week. I stream on weekends only. Again, I stream on weekends. I would love to stream every day. Streaming doesn't pay the bills. So okay, let's start with what is going on for the non-Indians in the audience, just to provide you some context. Okay, so these past few days, Flunky, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Hold on a second. Hold on. I have to unsilence my wait, what? Where are my alerts? Okay, so let's provide some context first. Okay, so this past month in November, elections were held in 5 states. 5 major states. Mizoram, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Wait, Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Telangana. Okay, so 5 states. Legislative elections were held, which means state level elections. So this basically is about who is going to be the next chief minister, which party is going to govern those states. It's like gubernatorial elections in the United States. Basically, it's state level elections. They don't mean anything other than they give you a slight indication as to what is going to happen in the future. The original prediction was that Congress, my original prediction was that Congress would keep Chhattisgarh. They would lose Telangana, BRS, and TRS. TRS would keep Telangana. They would lose Rajasthan, but take Madhya Pradesh. That was my prediction. I was sorely mistaken in terms of how incompetent Congress was. Not Congress in particular, but those particular Congress candidates. Ashok Gehlot in Rajasthan, Baghel in Chhattisgarh, and in Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath. Right? I was sorely mistaken because Congress got absolutely demolished in those 3 states. Congress is the opposition to BJP. The India Alliance is the opposition to BJP. They're the opposition to Modi. Okay? Congress got demolished in 3 of those states. The reason I thought Congress had a better chance was because earlier this year, Karnataka elections were held. Elections were held in the state of Karnataka. And Congress actually did a good job of beating the BJP in Karnataka. So what happened here was that 3 out of the 4 major states in play, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan, went to the BJP. The BJP won 3 of them. That's Modi's party. The 4th, Telangana, was originally the domain of a party called TRS, which was the founding party of Telangana. Right? But Congress actually managed to beat that party in Telangana. Bro, Karnataka doesn't mean anything. It wasn't a Congress win, rather anti-incumbency. You're wrong. You're wrong, Yoda with a gun. You're actually wrong. No. There were 2 different electoral strategies that were played. And I'll get to why there's a silver lining to this, okay? I'll get to why there's a silver lining to this. The reason that this is not as bad as I think, as it's easy to get into like doomerism and be like, oh, well, that means the BJP is going to win in 2024. The general election is going to be 2024, right? So the 2024 general elections in India are the same year as 2024 for the United States. It's the same year as the United States general elections. It's the same year. So it's very easy to get into this notion of like, we are so screwed. No, it's not even defeatist mentality. I'll tell you why this is actually probably better than you think it is. Right? Okay. So what happened was, So let's talk about who these guys are. The candidates were Kamal Nath, Ashok Gehlot. What? Okay. Kamal Nath was the chief ministerial candidate. He was the figurehead of Congress in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Ashok Gehlot was the figurehead for Congress in Rajasthan. And then in Chhattisgarh, you have Bhupesh Baghel. Yeah, you have Bhupesh Baghel as the chief minister of Chhattisgarh. Yeah, so the three, basically, these guys are the most conservative. These guys are the most conservative members of the party. Like, these are, how do I explain? These guys are not the AOCs. These guys are not these are not the AOC like wing of the Congress party, if that makes any sense. They are not the more progressive wing. These are the older this is the older wing of the Congress party. This is the Joe Biden wing of the Congress party. This is the Kamala Harris hardcore neoliberal, hardcore, casteist, hardcore old school 90s Congress members, right? These are the older members these are the old guard. So if there were states that Congress were going to lose, it would be the states run by these guys, right? Kamal Nath was also one of the architects of 1984. 1984, they're referring to uh, uh, Operation Blue Star, excuse me. Yeah, these guys are the old guard. Oh God, they're basically the same as the BJP. Yes, these guys are BJP light. These guys are BJP light. That's all you need. These guys are basically BJP light. Anti-Sikh riots, not Blue Star. Okay, yeah. The post Operation Blue Star aftermath. Yeah. Kamal Nath is one of the orchestrators of the anti-Sikh riots that happened in Delhi after Indira Gandhi got assassinated. So that should give you an idea of how much of a ghoul this guy is, right? So these guys are the most. They're not BJP. No, these guys are basically BJP light. Kamal Nath, Ashok Gehlot, and Bhupesh Baghel are the most conservative members of the. They're the more conservative members of the Congress Party. So if there were states, so this was a test. You can kind of look at these assembly elections as a test to see whether these guys were still relevant. That these guys, whether if these guys had any power, their mandate would have any chance of winning. And the answer was a resounding no. I'm gonna come. The answer to this was a resounding no. These guys are not to be what? Why is this in Hindi, boss? No, wait. No. Wait. Why is it? Yo, wait. Schadenfreude. Send this original thing in English. Translate? No, it's in English. Yeah, okay. Madhya Pradesh Congress President Kamal Nath on Monday met the controversial self-styled godman Dhirendra Shastri at Bageshwar Dam in Chhatarpur district. Shastri, the chief priest of Bageshwar Dam, that attracts a large number of devotees, has advocated that India should be a Hindu Rashtra. It also has raised eyebrows with his large congregations where it is alleged that he furthers superstitions by granting wishes. Yeah. So these guys are pro Hindutva, but they're in the Congress party. They are more okay with Hindutva, with Hindu nationalism, than the rest of the members of the Congress party, than Rahul Gandhi and Kharge are. Huge casteist too. I mean, that he's a. Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is. The point of what this is saying is this dude. The point of what this is that this dude, Kamal Nath, who is supposed to be who is the Congress, who is the candidate for Congress party in Madhya Pradesh, is really fundamentally not that much different from BJP. And so what these guys, Ashok Gehlot, Bhupesh Baghel, and Kamalnath ran on was basically Hindutva light, BJP light. We are BJP light. That is what these guys ran on. And the voters said, well, if we're going to be choosing between BJP light that has given us absolutely nothing, that has starved us, that has basically starved us of resources for the past constituency, versus BJP, which promises to give us stuff, well, we'll go with BJP. So voters were given a choice between BJP light in the form of these three versus proper BJP, and they chose proper BJP for fairly obvious reasons. So, what does this actually mean? What do I think? So, why do I think this is probably a good thing in the long term? Is it a good thing that Congress took these L's? Absolutely not. It's not a good thing that Congress took these L's in the first place. It's not. It is a very bad thing. In the short term, this is bad. This is a very bad thing that happened to Congress. Congress taking these Congress taking an L in Madhya Pradesh, which is a state that they badly need for 2024. They need to win seats in Madhya Pradesh. They need to have some decent foothold in Madhya Pradesh in order to deny BJP a majority. Them taking this much of a loss in Madhya Pradesh it doesn't bode well for Congress, generally speaking. And them losing Chhattisgarh and them losing Rajasthan also does not bode well for the future. But, here's the silver lining. Congress right now is head by one Mallikarjun Kharge. And Mallikarjun Kharge was the chief strategist behind Karnataka's win, the Congress's win in Karnataka. The reason that Congress won in Karnataka was due to three people. It was due to Siddaramaiah, DK Shivakumar. It was largely due to DK Shivakumar basically shutting up. But most of all, it was due to Mallikarjun Kharge. Kharge is a very shrewd politician. Disagree with him on a lot, and I disagree with him on a lot. He's an incredibly shrewd politician. The work that we saw in Madhya Pradesh and MP in Rajasthan and in Chhattisgarh was not the work of Mallikarjun Kharge. It was the work of these three members of the old guard. These are the results that these three yielded. What this is likely to do in the future is that this is likely to cement Mallikarjun Kharge's position within the party. Mallikarjun Kharge is the president of the Congress party right now, obviously. But this is likely to basically send a signal saying, listen, you better shut up and listen to Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge. Because in one camp, you have the old guard. You have figures like Kamal Nath, Ashok Gehlot, Bhupesh Baghel, Shashi Tharoor, right? You have members of Congress that are the old guard. Kamal Nath, Ashok Gehlot, Baghel, Shashi Tharoor, so on and so forth, that are basically older members of Congress that are doing 1990s style politics, trying to see that they can win 2023. That clearly didn't work. But on the other hand, you now have the Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge wing of the party that is, at the very least with regards to rhetoric, more openly going in the direction of social justice politics, That's important. And this is what I said earlier. Congress and the India alliance needs to double down on the caste census. They need to double down on that. They need to double down on Mandal politics. They need to double down on Mandal politics. What is Mandal politics? Mandal politics is caste census. It's basically focusing on creating caste consciousness among the OBCs, Dalits, and Dalit Bahujan Adivasis. That's what Mandal politics is about. It is focusing on creating caste consciousness and basically destroying the Brahminical idea that Hindus are this united voting bloc, when that was never the case. It was a ruse for Brahmins to oppress other castes. It's a ruse. It's a lie. It's a pure and utter lie for Brahmins to basically oppress other castes. Mandal, what Mandal politics is it's a way of it's basically anti-caste politics. Congress needs to lean in that direction. I thought Raga was in Kamal Nath Gehlot camp. Kharge is there to please the South because north of Congress ain't worth a dime right now. No. Rahul Gandhi is not in the Kamal Nath Gehlot camp. He is not. Raga is. No, Rahul Gandhi is, especially after Bharat Jodo Yatra, he's definitely. After Bharat Jodo Yatra, he's definitely more in the Kharge camp. He's definitely more in the Kharge camp than he is in the Kamal Nath Gehlot camp, by far. Like, he's definitely more in line with Mallikarjun Kharge, especially after this is lofty thinking, Arun. Kamal Nath and Kharge are old pals. No, it's not. It's not lofty thinking. I think you're wrong. No. Schadenfreude. Here's the thing you need to understand. This is a strategy that they employed. No, like, they're friends, but this is a strategy that these guys employed and it didn't work. What is going to happen is Mallikarjun Kharge's position within the party is likely going to cement. It is likely going to cement even further. I think you're wrong about this. Like, yes, Kamal Nath and Kharge, not the politics of Raga, but the actual influence all these have over Raga is more than Kharge. Well, no, Yoda, these three have provided results. Yoda with a gun. Here's the thing you need to understand. These guys have provided results saying that these guys are not qualified. These guys have been handed L's and they are not qualified. They're not qualified to be advising or taking any senior position in the party or any real influential position in the party any further. They've proven that. They've proven that they are not qualified to do that. Now, again, these are just my predictions as to what I think. Doesn't matter, though. It's not like Kamal Nath's Hindutva connections are new. They've been there since forever. No, Schadenfreude. No. But it is not a winning strategy. It is not a winning strategy. Schadenfreude. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that is different. Congress desperately needs to win. And this is a bad loss that they just took. Now, this largely depends on how Congress acts after this. But what I think Congress is going to do after this is they're going to course correct and they're probably going to double down. They're probably going to double down on the Mandal politics. They're going to double down on anti-caste politics. Is so over, man? 2024 is cooked? No. It's not over until it's totally over. 64. No doomerism. No doomerism in the chat. Guys, no doomerism. We're not doing this. No. It is going to... Okay. I was talking to a friend of mine about this. Literally last night. Or like earlier this morning. And I literally said, like, did you see the election results? And we were having a chat about this. And I was like, there's no way. Like, I was saying the same stuff that you were. I was like, there's no way. Like, Congress, like, it's still possible that Modi's cells metastasizing. I know it's not been a winning strategy since 2009. They've tried to out Hindutva BJP with Raga flaunting itself as a Janayodhari Brahmin and got absolutely fucked. They're still using the same strat. No, Rahul Gandhi is not using the same strat as of late. You're Did you join? Ontia.
Yeah.
Okay. Manga. We're talking about
What are we?
கேக்குது. The mic on it's like mic on it's
Is it a bit loud? Hold on.
ரொம்ப muffled இருக்கு.
Wait, hold on.
He's not big. The Congress is still sticking with it. Schadenfreude, I think you're absolutely wrong about this. I think you're totally wrong about this. I think you're absolutely wrong about this. I think Congress has the ability to course correct. And I think now that Kharge is in power, I think that now that Kharge is the leader of Congress, it is far more likely that Congress is going to double down on anti-caste like rhetoric and caste consciousness and caste census rhetoric. At the very
Hello, can
least,
you
they're
hear
going to
me?
double down on that. Yes, we can hear you.
Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. You finish. You finish speaking. I'm gonna be around for a second.
Okay. What I was saying was, I think after this, what is going to happen is there is going to be an internal meeting in Congress, and these three, Kamalnath, Ashok Gehlot, and Bagel, are not going to be the ones strategizing for 2024. They're not. They're going to lose influence within the party. Who's that voice I'm hearing? That is Sandy Storm. Chat. That is Sandy Storm. Uh, that is former mod extraordinaire, Sandy Storm. Um, literal, I think second mod of the stream. I think. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think what is going to happen is Congress is going to go back. Congress is going to have an internal discussion, and these three that just got their asses handed to them are going to lose influence in the party. And Kharge is likely going to have more influence, and they're going to double down on the Mandal politics direction. I think they're going to do that. I think ultimately that is what is going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. Because what other option does Congress have? Congress,
Wait, I wanna step in for a second. I don't know what year this is exactly because this was way before I was born. But there was a year when the exact same thing happened to the Congress. They lost Rajasthan, they lost Madhya Pradesh, and they lost Chhattisgarh, all in the same year. And this was also back when Delhi elections also lined up with um, these three elections. And they lost it quite badly. And they did this whole like revamp of leadership, and that's where Manmohan came in. That's when Narsim Rao came in. That's where um, Chondan sort of like gained um, influence in the party, and that's when they started to come back into power in the mid to late 90s. And that kind of like was the resurgence of the Congress. So best case scenario for 2024, that's it. Like they lost these states, but then that really doesn't make a difference. They have the South, they have something. They make nothing out of, I mean, they make something out of nothing, and we see a better Congress fighting the 2024 elections. But we also know that the ruling party has a very robust. I mean, I'm not complimenting them or anything, but I'm just saying their uh, propaganda wing is incredibly robust. You you already have the significant amount of um, you know, how do I say? proliferation of content and the channels that the BJP is pushing it through is already established. And all the channels that the Congress were using are basically severed. So they do have a lot of work to pick up in the next 6 months in order to get election ready. But then again, like I just don't. But it's also a very important election. I really don't know how to gauge. I think we really have to wait for the results and see what the Congress is doing about this. Like, kind of like see any visible progress, and only then can we gauge what's about to happen. Otherwise, I am like fully gearing up for a BJP election, even before this election. Even if Congress had picked up another state in this is like, you know, um, this is way back. Sandals going with yeah, it is, it is. I just picked up that example simply to show that like 2023 is a very different time from the 90s. And yeah, I think Congress got too cocky. Correct. Also, there is a fundamental difference between the leadership in the South and the leadership in the North. The leadership in the South is definitely very like more traditional Congress based. Like a lot of people, when they still think of Congress in the South, they think of the independence movement. They think of, pre Indira Gandhi. They're thinking basically the entire emergency period, like kind of like wipes out in their head. They're thinking pre Indira Gandhi, like Indira Gandhi's first term and pre Indira Gandhi, or they're thinking Manmohan. Right, they're thinking the great sort of leaps and bounds India made economically in the 90s and the early 2000s. They're thinking of they're thinking of that. They're not necessarily thinking of all the bad times that the Congress had caused, even like directly inflicted upon the South. Um, so South should have a separate. Listen, that's very easy to say, and like yes, that's an idealistic view, and in a lot of ways, sure. I mean, that's like an answer to a lot of these questions. But let's be honest, like we're like very, very like interdependent at this point for labor, economically,
Yeah,
talking
I
about
mean,
food chain, everything.
realistically, like it's like what
Like
Sandy's
it's
saying. Like
there's no
it's very
like
easy to be like, yeah, Dravida Nadu rise up. Like obviously, like separate South India from North India. Like
it's very easy to say that,
it's
but that's
easy to
not
say that, but
practical.
like no, it's obviously that's not how that works. Like South India is very dependent
Exactly.
on North India for labor. That's just a
And
fact.
let's leave all of that out of it. Let's leave all of that out of it. It's just that the Union of India. Again, I don't mean to like give anybody any credit, but like it gives us a lot of things. It gives a lot of people upward mobility, and it is a union, like it's a country, like you can't split it at this point, like, and there is no significant upside to splitting it because you're making an enemy of a more populated, arguably better funded, um northern part of the country. And that's not something that we really even should be entertaining on the main stage, simply because of all the implications that come from just bringing that up even. Um, so I wouldn't really go there. I don't even think that's like a realistic
That's
thing
no, it's
ever.
silly. It's not gonna happen. It's
It's not
silly.
gonna
It's
happen.
a
I don't
very
think it
silly thing to
should
say.
happen
It's not
either.
gonna happen. Like
Um, I really don't think it should happen either. Because at this point, like, what are you getting out of a split? Because we may b- India becomes from fashion. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to sound like an optimist here, but like these are all like they come and go. There's going to be a period of fascism, and there's going to be a period of better a better time, hopefully. But like stuff like this is going to happen, and when we start talking about measures like
no, I
separatism,
disagree with that point.
that
If BJP wins 2024, India is going to descend into. I think if
no,
B,
I'm sure it's going to. I'm sure it's going to. I'm just saying there is a cycle.
I
There is
mean,
a political
like
cycle,
delimit. I mean,
right?
like
There are going to be absolutely
What?
Listen, I'm again, the point that I'm trying to make is yes, there is a very real possibility that India could become fascist, even under the Congress. I'm not even talking about the BJP or something. Like you give enough power to the Congress, they're going to do the exact same thing. And with the 2026 delimitation, I get it, but like separatism is not the conversation that we should be having right now, simply because of all the implications that it brings and all of the logistic, constitutional, political, legal issues that come around with it. It's just not something that we should even be putting on the plate. I mean, I'm not saying anybody is, but that's just like I don't think it's a realistic solution to anything. Um, it's like if because I'll be very honest, 90% of the people, even the same people who are victimized by the system that the BJP is bringing around, is very happy. They're quite happy with this because they're finally you're giving them a country that after for so many years the motto of India has been united in diversity, whatever, unity in diversity, whatever. And clearly, like a lot of people are still in strife because of the global situation. And when you prey on those instincts and you tell them that this group is responsible for it, or that group is responsible for it, or it's because you have been giving too much, it's because you're too kind, you blow up their egos for 14 years straight or 10 years straight. And then you keep asking them to vote for you, and you put more people in power who visibly also like reflect those um ideologies. Obviously people are going to be happy with that, and people are. That's bottom line here. It's simply because there's one difference between the BJP and Congress. BJP is ideologically much stronger. BJP has an ideology. It's the same issue with the DMK and the ADMK. It's not like these guys are particularly great at their jobs. It's simply because the DMK has a stronger agenda and a stronger ideology that they win, and they are able to consistently win at in this space and time. And the problem with the Congress and the BJP is that the BJP is the BJP has a strong, a very strong ideological base. And when it comes to the Congress, they don't. They simply do not. Their ideology is, oh, we don't like the BJP, which is not a good enough reason, which is
Wait,
not a good
wait,
enough
Sandy,
answer to
pause.
convert these
Sandy,
people.
pause. Americans, does that sound familiar to you? Americans, does
Mm-hmm.
what Sandy's describing, does that sound familiar to you? It should. It should absolutely sound familiar to you. Yeah, I mean, Congress are neolibs at the end of the day that don't really have an ideology or that don't really have a political mandate. The BJP have a very clear political mandate, which is I fully expect a BJP victory in 2024. I do agree that denying Modi a 2/3 majority still matters. I don't, nerd, I disagree. I'm not going to call it like, I would say hold off on assuming that BJP is going to win in 2024. I would still say that there is still room for it. I would say there is still room for Congress to basically win. And it basically comes down to numbers. So let's talk about like it is like it ultimately is going to come like the South is basically a lock for the BJP. Bihar is they're going to at least get like you can probably say like they're going to get 30 seats from Bihar. If they can grab 30 seats from UP, that's enough. Even if 10 seats goes to BJP, as long as there's 30 seats in West Bengal, it's good. Uh, the problem is
No, I'll tell
the
you
problem
something.
is
I'll tell
BJP
you
still
something
has
where
the
the
problem is
Congress can
Congress
really
has
make
to win
heads.
90 seats. The remaining seats that are up for grabs between BJP and Congress are 90 seats. There are 90 seats that are up for grabs between the two parties. That's where the problem begins to pop up. It really comes down to 90 parliamentary seats between the BJP and Congress, and that's concentrated in the north. What the Congress does to rectify that situation after being handed this fat L from 3 states, we are going to see what Congress does to rectify that situation so that they can secure the remaining 90 to 100 seats that they need to ensure a victory.
I
And
think
and
okay.
I think the
So
only way and I think the only
let's
way that
actually
Congress
focus on
can do.
another aspect that the Congress can try to recapture if they want to. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the idea of political families. So in the north, especially around Gujarat, especially in Bihar, in the UP, and basically the Bhimaru belt, right? You have a lot of these families who have historically voted for Congress or BJP. And what they have basically done is a lot of them have increasingly switched to the BJP, especially the middle aged voter, right? And what the Congress should be doing is winning back the younger people, winning back the slightly urbanized population, maybe the kids from the villages who ended up going to the cities to study, the kids from the villages who are living in the cities to work. These are the kind of people that they should really be focusing on. They should absolutely consolidate a more urban vote, which I think is not out of reach for the Congress simply because of the. My second point that I'm trying to come to make is you don't. You either need to just go full Sachin Pilot on making him the face of the party, right?
Yeah.
Or you keep Rahul Gandhi. You go real hard on Rahul Gandhi. Come back with Rahul Gandhi. This man's image is leaps and bounds better than it was the last election or the one before that.
Arun, sorry, but denying a
Come
total
back to
BJP
Rahul Gandhi.
washover in 24 is copium. No, it's not. It's literally not. Like listen, Schadenfreude. Had you asked this, had you told me that BJP was going to win like absolutely 2 years ago or like a year ago at around this time, I would have been like, yeah, you're probably right. Right? Like I would have been in the same position as you. But after Kharge became the leader of Congress, I think there is a genuine shift, at least in terms of rhetoric, maybe not in terms of policy, because you look at Karnataka and they have already gone back on their promises to ban Bajrang Dal. They have already gone back on their promises to uh, what they originally started. Uh, uh, they promised that they would deal with the education system in Karnataka, NCERT, I believe. They went back on those promises in Karnataka. The biggest one is they promised to ban Bajrang Dal and they
Also,
didn't
I
do
think
that.
the idea that the India alliance is coming up, the idea that the India alliance is coming up and their like next big meeting is literally tomorrow is a big. I won't say a green flag, but I would say like a move towards a green flag, simply because the biggest downfall of the Congress in the past few years has simply been that they've not treated their allies very well. And this is an opportunity for them to start over. This is an opportunity for them to do better seat sharing. This is an opportunity for them to sort of like acknowledge that they're not as big as they used to be, and but they're still the only ticket for all of these parties to gain power in the center.
And I think
There's
Congress
no
under
way
Rahul
like they're
Gandhi
going
and
to.
Congress under Kharge is far more likely to do that than Congress on.
Exactly. I think
I
Rahul
think
is a good
Congress under
face for the party.
I like again, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibilities to for Congress to basically tell the other parties, their allies, to piss off and make it all about themselves. I wouldn't put that out of the realm of possibilities. But
Exactly. This is okay. So we're not the most likely winner of the 2024 election is still the BJP. Like, don't get us wrong, it's very much the BJP. But we are saying that because of there is a slight positive movement in the Congress, and with elections like this, you can never tell. You definitely can never tell. I definitely think that if the election was held tomorrow, it's going to be on BJP side. It's very like lopsidedly going to be on the BJP side. Even in the south, I think there's going to be a much bigger wave for the BJP if it was held like today or tomorrow. But I don't know, something like I just like I think there's still time for us to like make a complete call on it. Um and simply because, okay, look at this. Look at even pop culture in the past 5 years. And the amount of people who have moved to the south from the north and have found that the cities in the south are much better to live in, other than maybe like Delhi or like maybe Dehradun. I don't really see many cities in the north which are like great to live in, and Maharashtra is pretty much the south. You are seeing this like sort of resurgence as to like southern voices being held, like listened to a little bit more. And I have this inkling that a lot of celebrities are actually gonna like who are a lot of celebrities who have actually been scorned by the conservative politics. I think they have like some sort of holdover, and I feel like they're gonna say something. And now that the South is like fully with the opposition, I feel like they're gonna be a little bit more empowered to say something. But I don't know. I still think it's with when it comes to India, it's too early for you to say anything. And even if it's not, like even if it does come down to the wire, I think the election is also going to come down to a wire. And there is a possibility that it'll do that because it has done that historically.
I think what needs to happen is
And
I think the DMK needs to put a lot of pressure on INC on Congress. DMK needs to put a lot of pressure. DMK
yeah,
communists
because the
they
DMK
need to actually
is the
pressure
best
Congress.
performing India Alliance party. Yeah, the DMK is the best performing India Alliance party, and I think the DMK like the work that they're doing in Tamil Nadu, genuinely not bad, not the worst. I'm not going to compliment them by saying that they're the best, but not the worst. So they actually have say, and I'm not even like a DMK fan. I'm literally not even a DMK fan, and it's not like I'm rooting for them to succeed or anything like that. But like they're doing okay. So they have like some sort of they have a leg to stand on when it comes to this, and I'm sure Karnataka Congress will also have a leg to stand on because they like kind of like fought tooth and nail and got this shit back. Um, and with the Kerala Communist Party, they're like and the Kerala. I don't know what the fuck about Kerala needs to get this shit together when it comes to the Communist Party and the Congress. But I don't know. I'm bold of you to assume that those parties don't have. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I'm positive that they do. It's just like I'm just saying because I still think it's too early. When it comes to Lok Sabha elections, stuff changes practically overnight,
That's what
and I still think it's too
that's why
early.
I'm saying don't write off 2024 as a BJP win. Don't do that. It's not a
So you're absolutely right in that the
they
likely
have
the
a huge
favorite going
advantage.
into the year is definitely the BJP. The
What do you think will
favorite
happen
going
in
into the year is
Maharashtra
the
elections
BJP.
2024? Honestly, uh BJP literally won by
Maharashtra,
having
Maharashtra again.
best face
We don't
unironically
know.
is
We don't
Nitish
know what
Kumar.
this
He
is
is
going.
the old socialist and he knows how to navigate mandal politics better than Congress. I what? Well, they had to leave. Sandy had to leave. Um, never thought I'd hope Uddhav Thackeray wins. BRB net issues. Uh that's what like if you're I that's why I'm saying like don't that's why I'm saying like don't That's why I'm saying don't write off 2024 as like a BJP win yet. Don't do it. Congress in India have other smaller local elections before the national elections so that there's a pulse check. No. This is the pulse check. This is the pulse check. This is the pulse check. Now the thing you have to understand is that unlike the United States, where the Republican Party doesn't have like a IT wing, they don't have like a proper propaganda wing in the United States. They don't. Republicans do not have a proper propaganda wing in the same way that the BJP does. And the Indians in the chat that are in America know exactly what I'm talking about. There is no comparison in America to the BJP IT wing. So Congress has an even more seemingly insurmountable like hill, insurmountable challenge. It No, they do. Republicans do not. It's called CIA. No, boss. No. No, Arcane, that is not what the CIA is. The CIA is neoliberal American imperialist propaganda. That's what the CIA is. It is not specifically Republican propaganda. No. The CIA is American imperialist propaganda. It is not specifically Republican Party propaganda. BJP propaganda, the BJP has its own division called the BJP IT cell that is run by one Amit Malviya. This guy, this dude, yeah, this guy is single-handedly the reason that BJP has a stranglehold over India. Is world policing propaganda? No, what I'm saying is there is no equivalent to the BJP IT wing in the United States. There is no equivalent to this. This is a particular propaganda arm of a particular political party. It is a fascist. It is like if it's like there is no it's like if the Proud Boys, let me put it this way. It is like if It's like if the Nazi parties of America were like if it's like if the Republican Party was a direct feeder from Nazi paramilitary wings in the United States. It is not. The Republican Party is not a direct feeder in the same way that the BJP is a direct feeder from the RSS. Yes, CIA are the agents of capital, not the Republican Party. The BJP IT wing are very specifically the CIA doesn't serve them directly. The BJP IT wing serves the BJP. There is no equivalent in the United States to the BJP IT wing. There is like if the Democrats had to deal with the Republican IT wing, it's over. But it's because Republicans are too stupid to have an IT wing. They are way too stupid to have an IT wing. And at this point, it is way too late in the game for Republicans to establish an IT wing at this point. Whereas the BJP IT wing was established when WhatsApp was taking off in India. It took advantage of WhatsApp's growth in India. That's how the BJP IT wing is able to have a stranglehold over Indian politics through spreading misinformation. There is nothing like this in the United States. I need the Americans to understand how insidious this is. I need the non-Indians to understand how insidious this is. There is no equivalent to this. That doesn't mean it cannot be beaten, but this is another factor that Congress has to factor into when they're trying to beat BJP. Which is why going into 2024, Congress has to go full tilt Mundell politics. That is the only weapon that they have left. That is the only way that they can fight the BJP. They cannot fight the BJP. They cannot fight the BJP. WhatsApp, I'm crying. This isn't a joke. No, this isn't a joke. I love America. Yeah, Hasbara is the closest thing you can think of. Guys, The closest thing that you got to the BJP IT wing is Hasbara. I need you to understand. There is no equivalent to BJP IT wing. There is no equivalent. This is the biggest, I would dare say, like this is one of the largest wings. This is one of the largest organizations dedicated to sheer misinformation. And 50% of Hasbara is literally BJP IT wing. Yes, by the way, 50% of the Hasbara propaganda is literally just BJP IT cell. Yes, Hasbara is literally the closest thing that you can get to this. But even then, a good chunk of the Hasbara propaganda that you see comes from BJP IT cell. It comes from the BJP IT cell. So, I need you to understand how much they outsource to India. No, it's not that they outsource to India. No, it's not like they outsource. No, it's not like they outsource to India. These guys are the OGs. They're the pioneers of this. No, these guys are the pioneers of misinformation. They've been around since what? Like, people like WhatsApp, I'm crying. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. What, like, everyone knows. Chat. Okay, I'm not a great explainer. Someone explain what Hasbara is. I'm not a great explainer. I'm like not the most educated when it comes to that. I need someone else in the chat to explain that. The BJP IT cell, headed by this guy, Amit Malviya, this dude is single-handedly responsible for keeping the BJP alive. His job is to spread misinformation. His job is to quite literally spread misinformation on WhatsApp. So this is one thing that, but these guys have been around for a long time. This is how the BJP won. This is how the BJP won in 2019. This is how they won earlier. It's through massive propaganda and misinformation. Every Indians in the chat know the meme of like, Indians in the chat know about WhatsApp University. Yes. Same concept, except this is attached to a particular party. Same concept. No, like that's WhatsApp is the main vehicle of misinformation. Like the main vehicle of misinformation in America is television news and sometimes the internet. In India, it's WhatsApp. That is the main way. That is the main way misinformation spreads in India. It is through WhatsApp. Imagine if TikTok was literally only right-wing psychos. Yes, that is what basically Indian WhatsApp is. Imagine if TikTok, in America it's TikTok now. In India, because TikTok is banned, it's WhatsApp basically. Mr. Strimmer, I have witnessed the biggest political fumble ever, maybe. Yes, think if all the American hog-ass Facebook groups were run by a tech company owned by the GOP. Yes, literally this. This is the BJP IT cell. Yeah, you don't understand what kind of stuff. Hold on. Can someone send me examples of BJP IT cell propaganda? Actually, you know what? I'll give you an example. All I need to do is just go to Zubair's profile. All I need to do is literally go to this dude's profile, and he will show you for himself